Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, yesterday, few more concepts we learned about functions. I hope everyone clear. So, yesterday we uh, completed about function parameters and function return. We discussed about these two things. So, we detailedly learned about these two concepts. In parameters, I explained rest and spread, working with rest parameters, spread operator, default parameters, all these things. So many points we learned. What is difference between rest and spread? Rest is one formal parameter that allows multiple arguments, right? And spread is one array argument can spread into multiple parameters. Argument is only one, but it spreads into multiple parameters. That is actually called destructuring. I showed you. We use a destructure. Next important after understanding that function return. Yesterday I explained uh, why a function will be void and return. So how So what you understood actually return means function with return, what will happen? So it keeps the function memory alive, right? General function memory ends. When to use a function with return? When we want continuous operations. When we want some data to be used across continuous operations, we can use a function with return. Function with return. Today, we will see some more concepts how we can manage with function related. Let's see. So, next in a function concept, today we are going to learn about function closure. So, what is closure? It is a simple concept. Actually, sometimes people try to attach this closure with some program, but actually, closure is a mechanism. What is the closure mechanism is the members of outer block are accessible to inner, but inner block members are not accessible to out. That is the default nature of a function. So if anyone asks what is a closure, closure is a behavior, right? What is this closure behavior? Where outer members are accessible inner, but inner members are not accessible out. That is mechanism. And by default, when you write any function, every function has a closure. Every function by default have a closure. So closure is not any program, right? Generally in websites, YouTube channels, you will see people say that I will explain a closure program. Closure is not a program, it is behavior. In that behavior, one program, how we use, I will show, means how we handle them. So first, what is closure? So it is a behavior defined for function implicitly. Closure is a behavior given for functions implicitly. Internally, some behavior is given. What is this behavior? It allows outer block members accessible from inner block, but the inner block members are not accessible to outer block. That is the concept of closure. So by default, whenever you create a function has a closure. It is having a closure by default. So functions will have a closure by default. Syntactically, when you write a function, this function is having a closure. By default, it is having a closure. It's not any separate program or anything. It's just one behavior. Now, what in interviews they ask is, in a closure, how we can access inner block members outside. So that means outer block members are accessible inside. But how do you access inner block members outside? That's one concept. So actually, what is the concept here, behavior here? Let's see. Okay. So we are having the function, and this is demo function, or let's say outer function. In that x is 10, we have a function inner. In that y is 20. So console log. So we are printing x coming from x and y is coming from y. So this is okay because the members of outer block are accessible in inner block. That's no problem. For example, suppose here instead of this, I'm using z is equal to x plus y, and I want to print outside console.log. So addition is equal to the value from z. It's not accessible here. So what is the mechanism behind this is the function outer block and this is the function inner block. Now x is not inside this block. Can I access x and use here? Yes, because it is outer block member, it is accessible to inner. Z is not here. It is inside this inner block. Can we access that Z and use it here? No. It's not accessible. It is not accessible. That's the closure mechanism. Now what interviewer asks is how to access the result of x plus y and use it outside. Then what we do? We use a simple technique. The technique is nothing but we will make this inner return x plus y. That means what it will do, even after the function ends, the memory of function is still available. The result of x plus y will be stored in inner, and inner is in the same block now. You can access that inner and use it here. That's how the inner members are accessible out. That means you can access them outside and you can use them. So I will class outer, and you can see it is going to print that because I am using log, and you can see it is displaying the result here. So this is a simple concept of closure. Closure is not any program. Several times people try to show one closure program. They will say, I will explain one closure program. Closure is not a program you show. It is a behavior, right? In that behavior, you use your techniques, accessing inner members outside, outer members inside, how they are handled. That is the point. So it is a simple concept. This is one example how we can access the inner member outside. So that is generally considered as closure. We have a function closure. I hope everyone clear. Closure is not any program. It's the behavior of a function, right? Yeah. Next important in functions. While working with functions, you should know about pure and impure functions. Another concept, pure and impure functions. In JavaScript, these are all JavaScript interview questions. In interviews, they ask what are higher order functions, what is function carrying, right? What are pure and impure functions? That's the reason so many people, even they are very perfect in React Angular, they fail React Angular interviews. Because in React Angular interviews, they don't ask React Angular, they ask JavaScript. Because framework and libraries, there is nothing to ask. They have a fixed set of questions you can remember and answer them. Language is the location where a developer is tested. So that means you may know so many technologies, but you are tested in language. That's the reason you learn any JavaScript technology, your questions will be on JavaScript. They are not worried you don't know some React concepts. They are worried that you don't know proper JavaScript, right? They will select you even if you cannot answer some topics in React because you are perfect in JavaScript. So you should know all these things. Pure, impure function, simple. A pure function means it will return same result every time, even when the parameter is changing. Even when the parameter is changing, it will return the same result every time. These functions are called as what? Pure. Pure function means a function. For example, I will tell you. Suppose you will write one function. Suppose this function is pure. What is that function? It is expecting some parameter n. Now, what I want is into that pure, I will pass this n first time with 10, second time with 5, third time with 2. Different parameters are passed, but its result should be same. You can pass any parameter, but the result must be same. That means a pure function returns the same result every time, even when the parameter is different. Now write logic for this and show me. Right? Try now and show me how you write a function which will return same result even when the parameters are different. Result can be anything, number, string, boolean, anything. It should return same result even when parameters are different. How you will write such functions in JavaScript? What should be the logic inside? Any logic you write. I want result same. Don't tell me, write and show me. So a pure function should return same result every time. It should return same result every time, even when the parameter is different. You should use the parameter. You should use the parameter, but result must be same. N parameter must be used inside logic, but its return result should be same. Is it returning same? Huh? Show, run it, show. Run in browser directly. What's the logic you read? Hmm. 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 Return with return, without return, no problem. Every time. Any parameter, any parameter, because in JavaScript parameters are not only numbers, na. N can be number, N can be string, N can be boolean, N can be array, but it should return same. How? If I pass A and 6, hmm, I will get same result. A and 6 will concat. It will not add. Parameter type can be anything, right? But return value should be same. It should return same. That try and show me. Don't guess. कुछ भी करो दिखाओ. Point understood, na? N can be number, string, boolean, array, anything. You can pass any parameter into it. Anything you can do, it should return same result. If it is doing, then you have designed a pure function. For example, you see here, see anything, the logic is simple actually. That is, concept is confusion. For example, if I put n is equal to 4, and print console.log. What we are printing, the value of n, the value of n I am printing, right? What it is doing, it is printing 4 only every time. Suppose I'm adding I'm adding an array 10 20, right? What it is going to do, it is going to print 4 only every time. Na? Right? See, that's what logics are simple, questions are confused. In MNC level interviews, when you go to understand question itself, it will take half an hour. Solution is 1 second, right? You can't understand the problem. That is the major thing, right? So technically, what is the point here? A function should return. You can use return, or you can make it return any result, same. This is how questions are. See, tricky question. I will show you. We have LeetCode. You know LeetCode, right? In LeetCode, you see 30 days JavaScript and create hello world function. See the first function, what they are giving in the first function, what they are saying, write a function hello world, create hello world. This function should return a function, and that function should always return hello world. Always return hello world. The parameter can be anything. You see what they given there? They say that the argument can be object null 42, but the output must be hello world. You pass anything into it, but it should return hello world. Tricky this is. That means they are asking you to write a function which should return the same every time, even when the parameters are different. Parameters are different, right? This is called as what? Pure. If you want to try this with return, that means what we do, we say return n. And obviously, this all you need to print. That means what you have to do? Console.log. So pure is a function. Into that, I said 40. One line I am adding. Then what it is going to return? It is going to return 4. Right? Into console log, pure is a function. And into this, you are passing some hello. But what it should do? It should return 4 only. Right? So this is the concept of pure function. So what are pure functions in JavaScript? So what is the point about pure? A pure function returns the same value every time, even when the parameter is changing. So a pure function returns the same value every time, even when the parameter is changing. So that is pure function. So just example I am giving here. This is an example of pure. Now an impure function returns different value every time, even when the parameter is changing. Even when the parameter is same every time. That means same parameter you pass, same function, but result will be different. That means you have to define a function. Impure function means we have a function impure. Impure function, you can see it is expecting some parameter. What I am doing, so we are passing impure, we are passing 10, we are passing 10. Every time we are passing same, but it should return different every time. Even when parameter is different, return is same. Then it is what? Pure. Parameter is same, but return is different. Every time it will return different value. These are called as what? Impure. Write and show me. Impure function. So function will take same parameter every time, but result will return different. Don't explain. Just show me whatever you written. Mm. A logic should return, not a method, na? Right? What is a function? It's a logic. A logic should return different functionality. If I pass 10, next time also I pass 10, it should change. It is not changing, na? According to your logic, every time it prints 11, but it should print different. Every time you will pass same 10, 10, 10, but it should return different. What you are doing? Mm. Where you are passing same parameter. You have to pass same. That is the rule, na? You can simply write math dot random function. It will return random number every time. Uh, That's not the point. Pure impure is not about just only value. Logic and return should be different. It will use same logic. With the same logic, it will return different values. So with the same logic, we have to What you want to see, eh? Right. So what is pure and impure functions? See, simple point. Suppose if I put a variable here, suppose x is equal to 10, and what n is doing, so it is returning, so here, so x plus n, what it will do, it will return same. Actually, means sample I am explaining. We have impure 10. So what is the first result? It will say 20. So we have console log impure. Again, we are using impure 10. That means it will be 20. It should change. I given a hint. I given a hint. By using this hint, you try now. Now you can do a what? So you can say x plus equal to n. Am I right? That means what will happen? First time it is 20, second time it is 30. Understood? Huh? That means you are passing same parameter every time. You are passing same parameter every time, but it is returning different every time. So it should return different every time. Save, yeah. It should return different every time. Right? This is the concept of impure. So same function, same parameter is used, but return result is different. If you can define such functions, then they are called impure. These are very important in future when we are working with React. Because suppose you saw carousel. I will use a carousel component. Carousel means it will contain some sliding banners. Huh? Will everybody use same photos in sliding banners? No. One time I will use 10, second time I will use 5. That means it should able to customize. Sometimes you design a component in such a way wherever they use it should return same. Then we call them as what? Pure components. Pure components, impure components. What is a pure component? So a pure component is going to return the same result, same UI every time. Impure component, even you given the same parameters, same instructions, but return will be different. It will show in a different way. So this is the nature which you will use later so many. You will understand how to handle and how do we work with that, right? Technically, that is the concept of pure and impure. I will copy one example and this is example here. I hope everyone understood. So we have pure components and we have impure. How we can work with pure and impure functions. Huh? Is it clear? Yes. So what are higher order functions? What are pure functions? These are very important in interviews. Right? So you understood about closure and you understood about pure and impure. Next important, we have function recursion. Another important concept, function recursion. function recursions. What is function recursions? Actually, recursion is a technique. Recursion is a technique of calling a function within the context of same function. That is called function recursion. Calling a function within the context of same function. For example, you have a function. Suppose you have a function f1. We call the function inside the function. This is called recursion. This is recursive calling. You are calling a function inside the same function. Generally, a function is called outside. Why you call a function inside function? What is the concept here is to create indefinite loops. It can create an indefinite loop. By using an indefinite loop, it can handle. For example, indefinite loop means, I will tell you one simple thing. Suppose we are writing a function, ping is a function. Now I am writing document.write response from 127.0.0.1, something like this. So reply success, something like this. We are having some message. I will put a break. Now I am calling this ping. So I am calling this ping. Then you can see that it is going to execute that one time. I want to execute this forever, continuous. It should execute forever, not 100 times, 1000 times. We can write a loop then. We can write a loop for I starting with 1 to 10,000, 10 lakhs, not 10,000, 10 lakhs. It should run for 1 hour. It should run for a lifetime. Continuously, it should be running. Because we test connection. We will test connection with server. Server on or off. If server is on, reply will be coming. Server off, it says timed out, timed out, timed out. Again, when server is on, the message will change. Reply, reply. Forever it should run. Yep. So what is the nature here? What is the concept here? What is the concept here? So first it will execute the function. After executing the function, it will return the result. Right? After returning the result, it will execute again. This will print again. This will go infinite. That will create an infinite loop. This is recursive. So to create indefinite loops we use. Remember, I am giving only syntax functions. I am teaching you JavaScript. Actually, you should learn all this and come for React. Right? Don't get very excited about, I want big function examples. You are still not ready. Your level is not ready. Right? So once your level increases, then we will go higher. That's what we are going to do in React. So don't get excited. right? People say that I want more example. First, you do this, right? This is just syntax based example. Your level is enough for this as of now. We are going to use in React with high level examples. At that time, you will run away, right? So at that time, you will never ask any question at all. I want more examples because one example I given, you will not able to handle it. So don't worry. We will see very high level examples that your capacity will be out of range. Understood? Huh? So don't get excited. We will go into that. As of now, just understand the concept. I am making you how to handle the concept. What is the concept? These are all we are going to implement in our React. There you will see high level examples, right? So this is syntax I am explaining. So what is this now? It is going to return the same response again and again. It creates an indefinite infinite loop. This is the mechanism of recursion. You can call a function inside function, right? So why it is going to do that? That means it can create an indefinite loop of execution. It can create an indefinite loop of execution. So highly complex. Suppose you might have heard that computers can solve problems. How they can solve the problems? You might have seen quantum computers. They say that a quantum computer can solve a problem of 3 million years problem. It can solve in 3 seconds. What do you mean by 3 million years? That means leave the computer for 3 million years, then it will find the solution. Means continuously it is working 3 million years. It is working 3 million years continuously, then final result will come. How you can create such complicated calculation which can run for years and finally get us the solution? That is possible by using what? Recursions. What we can do is when condition satisfied, we can make the recursion block out. We can come out of that recursion. For example, so let's see here. This is a simple point. That means that is a basic example here. How it works. I will show you one simple point. Suppose we are having a factorial function. We are asking n. I want to find the factorial of a number. In interviews, they will ask two ways. They say that write with a loop, write without a loop. With a loop, everybody will write. That's a simple thing. 1 to n, multiply the value and add into the reference. Am I right? Without loop, they will say that without loop, write. Then what we do, if n is equal to 0, n equal to 1, then what it should do? It should return 1. If n is equal to not equal to 1, then what it should return? N into factorial of n minus 1. That's it. So now I am using document.write. I am writing factorial of 5 is how much? Factorial of, we pass value what? 5. And you can see that it is going to print factorial 5 120. Now what is happening in this case? There is no for loop, but it is repeating so many times. Without a for loop, how it is repeating? The concept is simple. You passed 5 into this, na? So n is equal to 1, na? No, it is not satisfied. Then it will come here, am I right? So what is already n? N is what? 5 into, what is it? Factorial of 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 means how much? 4 means it will calculate how much? 20. After 20, what it is going to do is it is executing this function again with 4. This is executing again with 4 and it is not equal to 1. This time already what is n? Already it is 20 na? Right? 20 into this time it will be factorial of, what is it? Factorial of 4 minus 1 na? 4 minus 1 means how much? 3. That means it will be how much? 60. Next time it will repeat again. 3 minus 1, 2. That means 60 into 2, 120. Right? After that again it will repeat. 2 minus 1 is how much? 1. If 1, then it will stop with 1. It will return and it will stop with 1. So it is going to print the factorial of number. Without any loop, we can do. Such questions are asked. They say that I want factorial of 6. I enter 6. They say that by using a for loop, you write 1 to 10 numbers, print 1 to 10 numbers. Without loop, print. Without loop, print a multiplication table. Right? Without loops. So you need to use recursive mechanism. Majority of the problems can be solved with recursion. These are later used in React for performance because we need to test the performance of an functionality. It should run hundreds of times. Then we will not write a loop. We will put in recursion. What is recursion? Until I stop, it will not stop. It will continue. This mechanism can be achieved by using recursion. This is another example of that concept. What is it? Recursion. These are all important for React. You are going to use these in React. So I am not teaching JavaScript here. I am making you ready for React. I am just giving advanced things in JavaScript which you may miss in your JavaScript because they are required for React. Right? This is not JavaScript class. Right? But we are giving a complete overview of what JavaScript is needed for a React developer. So if you missed anything in your JavaScript, this will help you to understand the concepts, right? I hope you understood these points. Closure, is it clear? Right. Impure pure functions, right? Function recursion. Next important, while working with functions, we have function chaining. Yesterday I told you function currying. What is function currying? Function currying is the process of a function returning another function. So it can be also called, the outer function is also called as higher order function. And the process of writing a function that returns a function is called as what? Function currying. The outer function is called higher order function. Higher order function. What is function chaining? This is interesting. You have seen in your JavaScript, but you may not know about it. Actually, chaining is nothing but, for example, see, suppose we are using a string. str is welcome. It's a string. I want to print the string. Okay, I'm printing the string. It will print the string welcome. To this, I am adding a function called font size. I entered, suppose, font size 6. Then you can see that the font size of that function, the text increases. I am adding one more function to that function, font color, red. That means red is also added. I am adding one more function to that function, bold. and you can see that it is bold also. This is chaining of functions. How you invoke a function with another function. And remember, in this, I can add in any order. I can write bold first, color later, font size later. Which function must be first in this? Anything? How you will design a function like this, which can be invoked with another function. And there is no order. I can invoke first one, second one, anything. Through first, I can invoke second. Through second, I can invoke first. Why this is needed? Obviously, you saw why it is needed. Suppose you learnt array slice. After slicing, you can apply index of. Am I right? That means you can sort after slicing. How you add to the slice method? You can add a sort method also. How this is possible? Why this is required? For example, you are designing a calculator. In calculator, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Which one first? Anything? 2 plus 3 minus 4 into 2 again plus 4. We can use add function to existing. We can use multiply function to existing. Am I right? That is chaining of functions. If you have to design a calculator in JavaScript, you can't design without knowing this topic. I hope you never designed any calculator like in JavaScript. Right? When you practiced JavaScript or any technology, Java or .NET or any technology, in that they taught you how to design a calculator. Right? Then without this concept, you can't design. This is mandatory. Through add, they have to invoke multiply. Through multiply, they have to invoke subtract. There is no order, but all should work. How this is possible? How we can chain a function like this? This is the concept of function chaining. How this is possible? For that, you need to be strong in your topic of JavaScript object type. You learn JavaScript objects, huh? JSON, arrays, objects. In data types, primitive types, non-primitive types. In non-primitive type, we have an array type. You have an object type. Right? Object is a key value collection. We have keys and values. You see now how you define the concept. So we have a function. Demo is a function. This demo function returns an object. This object contains a function. This object contains B function. This object contains C function. We have three functions. Object separates everything with comma. Now what this will do is console.log. It will print a. After that, return this. You return this. That means this function will be returned to the parent memory. It will be stored in the parent memory, not in a stack, in a heap. When it is stored in a heap memory, you can access in any order. If it is stored in a stack memory, always you have to access last in, first out. Now this, you know what is written. It keeps memory alive. And it stores, this refers to current context. Current context is what? Demo. And you know that in JavaScript object, this refers to current object. So current object memory will be added. That means this function will be added to current memory. Now the same thing, console.log. Console.log. and B. And already we have seen written this. We have written this. We have console.log C, and we have what written this. We have written this. So what is the point now? So we are accessing demo. We are accessing demo. And through demo, I can access A and observe carefully here. Through demo, I am accessing A and it is going to print that A. Am I right? It is going to print A, only A. Next, I am accessing demo. I am accessing B and through B, I am accessing C. And you will see that it is accessing B and C. Right? And demo, I am accessing A and C and B. I can access in any order. And you will see A, C, B, it will access. You can access only C if you want. You can access only C. You can access A. And you can see it will access CA, any order. This is the mechanism of chaining. This is little high level question. How you can create function chains. And this is very important for operations on existing data. You want some operations on existing data, but existing data comes as a result of a function. So on a function, you need to apply another function. How you can apply function? Suppose through a function, you retrieved the data. After that, you need to filter. After that, you need to sort. You need to change the functions. Filter it, sort it, reverse it. Right? You learned arrays concept, na? When you learned array, so when you learned array, you know on array, we can apply sort. Right? You can apply reverse. It will first arrange in ascending. After that, it will be reverse. Right? You can put reverse and we can put sort. You can put reverse and we can put sort. It will do in another way. It will display in reverse and it will sort. This is the mechanism of what? Chaining. Remember, for all other topics, I already give an example. If you're missing the classes, then I am not responsible for that. Right? Previously, whatever I explained in functions, already I given with examples. If you are not there in that class, I don't care about that. You should attend regularly. Right? And these we will not repeat again. In React, when we are working, we will just use this. There I will not explain again what is function chain, what is higher order function. We already learnt with example. But there we will see more examples. In real world where we implement, how we implement, those we will see. So function chaining is very important. What is the concept of function chaining? So what is the concept of function chaining? So here function chaining, it is the mechanism of invoking a function with context of another function. A function with context of another function. It can invoke and return the functionality without any order dependency. Without any order dependency, you can access and invoke in any order. So for example, you have string. This is like slice, like font size. So size, you are using some number, some 0 to 10. Font size, you are adding bold. This is all the concept, font color. This is chaining. This is chaining. How you configure chaining. To create, to create a function chain, you need to configure a function that returns object, that returns object. That means what you have to do, function name, make sure that this function will return an what? Object. It returns an object. And what object contains? Object will contain, object must contain a set of functions returned to current context. Set of functions returned to current context. Name, and it should return an object. In that you have function 1 and it should return this. We have function 2, it should return this. So I will be very clear, right? My job is not teaching you JavaScript basics here. You should learn them. Only the advanced JavaScript required for your React. That's what we are going to learn here. Okay, all other your JavaScript basics, your problem. So that is not our responsibility to teach in React JS topics. Okay, so you should learn all the basic language. I told you what are basics. Variable, data types, operators, statements, all these, the topics you should learn and come. So these concepts are advanced. So which generally these are not advanced. Every JavaScript learner in depth learns about them, because some people don't properly learn JavaScript. They skip with this. They don't know about this. So we are giving an idea about it. Okay. What is object? How object works? Give examples on object. That is not my job. That's not my responsibility. Okay. So because when you learn about JavaScript object data type, you know how a object is defined. Object can have another object, embedded objects. All these are important. This is called as function chain. That means what is the mechanism here? Name, you can access F1, F2, or name, you can access F2, F1. You can access only anything you want. F1, only F1. Anything you can define. This is one example. So this is the example. I hope clear. Right. So you have learned about another important function, chaining. Function chaining. Right. Next important concept you should know about function is function generator. Function generator. What is a function generator and how this function generator works? Actually, generators already available in JavaScript and all programming languages. Only the point, they are not given to developers. But latest version of JavaScript made these available for developers. Remember, your technologies will develop so many things, but will not give you everything. Suppose you are learning some technology called Java. Means what? You learned everything in Java. You learned everything in Java. Then what you learn? So you have learned only the concepts which are regularly used in real world development for few domains. But in some domains, we use some rare options that you may not learn. In your regular learning, you may not learn that. Then suddenly, after working 10-15 years, you got a new project. In that new project, you got a new scenario. In that new scenario, till now you haven't used it. Now suddenly you need to use it. Now you will explore the topic and you will know about it and you will implement it. It is already there with the technology, but you haven't learnt about it. You haven't learnt about it. Why? Because it's not possible. It's not possible to teach everything to you. Because it's not possible even to learn, and it's not good to learn everything. Why? I will tell you. Simple. I think I showed. Suppose we have, I will show one point here. Suppose you have image. For image, how many attributes you learnt? Image src, image width and height, image have alt title. You know, I will show you. This is an image related logic. These are all image properties. You see how many are there? These are all image related attributes. And in that, you learnt only 3-4. Am I right? Now, will you complain to your HTML trainer that why you missed all this? Uh, then people think you like a psychopath, right? What you are talking about? You want to learn all this? Sit 1 year for HTML. Understood? Huh? You sit, I will explain about every point 1 year HTML. It will take 1 year minimum, it will take. Right? So that means, will you complain on your trainers that they are not teaching you all this? That's like rubbish. Why? Because why we have to teach all this to you? Not required. Few regularly used options required. But remember, actually, a developer should know many of these things. But because they don't use regularly, so they ignore. Even knowing is not good. How many you will remember? Right? Not good. So then what is the point? In one project, one situation came and I want an image in a specific way. You will now have a doubt like, is HTML having any such thing? Right? So then your HTML means HTML developers say that yes, there is an option for that. Now what you will do, you will say that I haven't learned about it, and you said that there is an option. Okay, let me explore about it. You go to their official website, open the tutorial, read about that option, how to use, learn the syntax and implement by yourself. You have to do it by yourself. You can't complain on your trainers that you missed it. Why? Because they will miss everything. They will give you only what is needed. Right? See, when we when we trained people on various technology like .NET and all, 10, 12 years back, people learned .NET from us. They are working in US, somewhere in companies, they are working. 10 years, they are already working as .NET developer. Every day I will show you in my email, my old students send a message. Sir, I am your 2010, 2011, 2014 .NET batch student. I am working in company. I done 10 years back .NET from you. Suddenly I got this issue in my project. So how to solve it? What? You are already 10 years experienced developer. Again, you are asking question. Why? because they know that there is an option. Only the point is, if they try by themselves, it will take time. They think that we might have idea on it, then we can guide a document. We will send a document, they will explore and they will learn. They will not ask us to teach us. They will say that I got this requirement. Is .NET having that facility? We will say that yes, it is having, but it is not regularly used, so you may not know. You worked in so many projects all these years, but still you don't know because you don't need. Suddenly today you need, then I will send a document, you just verify, check it, you will learn, you can learn and you can implement. That's how we do, right? Everything not possible to learn, right? So there are hundreds of options. So why I am explaining this? Because generator word may looks new to you, but in your you are using it. In your daily life, you are using generator, function generator every day. I will explain where you are using this generator and how we are manipulating it. Observe, see here. I'll tell you one simple concept. Suppose we have a for, or I will use for each. You learned for each na? In JavaScript. For each uses a callback function. Na? It will read every item. Am I right? It will read every item. It will read every item index number. And it will return every item. For example, we are using for where item of collection. It is going to read every item from collection. For in for of you have learned the concept. Now, actually, for each, for of, these are iterators. We call them iterator. What is difference between a loop and iterator? What is difference between a loop and iterator? Loop requires initialization. Loop requires a condition and it requires a counter. Na? Initialization means it tells where to start. Condition tells when to stop. Counter defines how to proceed. Na? Iterator don't need all that. In iterator, you don't need to tell where to start. It will start with first one. You don't need to tell how to proceed. It will go to the second one after first. You don't need to tell when to stop. It will automatically stop after reaching end. How this is possible? Point understood? Huh? How it is possible that it knows that stop without writing any condition? Is in for each, is there any condition? No. Then how it will read after last? How it will stop after last? How it will read the second next one after the first? How it is doing? In the background, it is using a generator. So these are designed using generators. What a generator will do is, it will identify, are there any items to read? It will read. After reading, it will push to next. If there is one more item, it will read the next item. It will verify, is it done or not, true, false. If done is true, that means it is end. Now it will stop. Done is false, that means there is some more data. It will continue. That means at high level, you should know that your for each is designed using a function generator. That means without logic, how anybody can work? There is logic, but you are not writing the logic. In loop, you have to write. In iterators, you don't write, but inbuilt it is using. How for each is built, how map is built, how for of, all these are built. They are built by using what? Generator. I will show you how a generator function actually looks like. A simple point I will show you. See, this is interesting here. Function asterisk. It is an iterator. What does this asterisk means? You already learnt meta characters in HTML. Meta characters like question mark, plus, asterisk. These are all meta characters. What is the meaning of question mark? Question mark indicates 0 or 1 occurrence. Asterisk indicates 0 or more occurrences. Plus indicates 1 or more occurrences. These are all meta characters. You will learn in HTML patterns. For example, you have your HTML. We have your HTML form. Suppose in HTML, we have a input type text. Name is some pattern. So here, you know, your input text have a pattern attribute. Text box have a pattern attribute. Button is submit. This pattern attribute is used to verify the format of value. Suppose I entered color. That means it will allow only that color word. It will allow only that color word. Anything you type, it will not allow. It will allow only color. Suppose I return COLOUR. LOUR. It is not allowed. It will allow only spelling COLOR. COLOUR. It will allow only COLOUR. If I put question mark, this indicates you can be 0 times or 1 time. This is HTML thing basically. In HTML, you learned how to write pattern. What does it means now? It will allow 2 spellings. Without you and with you. You how many times? 1 time. Maximum 1 time. That means you entered COLOR without you. It is allowed. COLOUR. It is allowed. COLOUUR. Not allowed, because U occurrence can be only 1 time. If I put asterisk, it indicates you can be many times. Many times. That means suppose I entered COLOR. Without you, it will allow 0 times. It will allow COLOUUR. It will allow COLOUUUR. It will allow everything COLO. It will allow you any times. That is the meaning of asterisk. Plus means you must be mandatory 1 time, maximum any times. That means will it allow COLOR now? It will not allow COLOR. So I will refresh. Minimum 1, COLOR. It is not going to allow. COLOU compulsory. Minimum 1 and maximum any number of times. So any number of times it will allow. These are all meta characters. Right? What does asterisk means in this concept actually? What does asterisk means in this concept? Suppose we are writing a function asterisk. Iterator is a asterisk. What does this asterisk means? It indicates that it will this function will execute 0 times or many times. Understood? This function will execute 0 times or many times. Iterator rule is that, right? If there is no data, 0 times. If there is data, many times. Many, how many times? Until the data is there. Many times, 0 times. That is the meaning. Iterator starts with 0, ends with many. And very important, this iterator will yield a value. It will not return value. It will yield 10. It will yield a. It will yield an array. Anything. Anything it can yield. What is difference between return and yield? In general, what is difference between return and yield? One simple I will tell you. In general, you know, for example, banana plant returns banana. Mango tree yields mango. What does it means? Banana plant returns banana means one time one banana it returns, means it returns one set of banana, it deads. It will not return again. You know na? Return, that is. Return means it sends. Mango every year it will yield na? That is yield. Yield means it will continue. Return means it will stop. The yield operator itself saying that continue. Understood? That means it will start with the first one. Yield is saying that there is more, continue. So what yield is doing? What is yield? Yield is not a keyword. It is called operator. Yield operator push to next one. So internally, what is happening now? See, I will show you. LET object is equal to iterator. It is an iterator. It is using the iterator. Console.log. Console.log. I am using object. And observe carefully. This object is going to return. Let's open the console. This object is going to return. So it is not a function. Yeah, it is just object. Okay, this object is going to return an iterator. And you observe carefully, iterator is a generator. Huh? It is a generator. It has so many things inside it. It has so many things inside it. So later I will tell you more options. You see, there is a next option. What this next is going to do? It will read the first one. And see, interestingly, after reading the first one, done is false. Done is false means there is more data. That means how many times it will read now? Until done is true. Once done is true, then it will stop. Right? That means you run the same statement again. You run the same statement again. Am I right? You see, it returns all the values and finally done is true, it is stopped. It returns undefined. This logic is used in every iterator you are using in your programming. You are using find, you are using filter, you are using sort. Everybody is designed using a generator. Everybody is designed using a generator. Earlier, it is not given for developers. Actually, it is locked. It is not available for developers. Recently, they made available. Recently means so many years done. So from past several years, they made it available for JavaScript people. Why? Because JavaScript people are building libraries. React is a library na. We can build so many JavaScript libraries. In building such libraries, we can build our own iterators. When to build our own iterators, we need a generator. Generators are required for creating our own iterators. You can create your own function like for each. You can create your own function like for. That is possible by using generators. So generator is nothing but it is used for creating iterators. The background of iterator is a generator. And how it works, a process is there, how it defines. I hope you understood the concept. Right. Detailedly about this iterator, one point by point note I will give it to you. That I will do in the next session tomorrow. Mostly by tomorrow we will finish functions topic. Asynchronous functions, arrow functions, so many more topics are there. Promises, callbacks. We will finish by tomorrow about all functions. Then we can use this knowledge in React. We will get back to React now. Okay, tomorrow we will continue. Right? Yeah.